This afternoon, I'm glad God spoke to your heart. I want to tell you a little bit about my journey. When I started out in high school, I was a little bit of a brat. That's speaking lightly. I got in a lot of trouble in high school, but even before that, it was kind of set up. When I first started out in grade school, I had entered into a new school in first grade, and I didn't do well. And in fact, they held me back one year. So I had to do first grade 2 times in a row. And that was hard for me to have to start all over again. By the 3rd grade, I still didn't get it. I was a little slow. Looking back on it now, I think maybe I had some ADD. I know that gets thrown around a lot. I don't know what was going on. God knew what was going on with me. But they put me in what they call a Homer B. Reed class. Has anybody heard that before? Okay. That must be a Kansas thing. I grew up in Kansas, by the way. I'll let you know how I got here. So I was in Homer B. Reader was somebody that designed programs for special kids. In other words, they put me in the mental retardation class in the 3rd grade. And my mom and dad were disappointed about that. Immanuel, this is the first time you've heard this. I'm going to share a little bit today. So I was in the special ed class in the 3rd grade. I had a very difficult time. I got behind and behind, and once you get into a special class, they don't teach at the same level as the other classes. So unfortunately, I was behind all the way. Barely passed 6th grade. I went to junior high. Still had trouble. And I had been picked on by somebody that had also failed several times, but he was quite a bit older than us. Our junior high in Kansas is 7th and 8th grade. I used to ride my bike to school. I'd find a different route every day because I thought he'd be looking for me, trying to beat me up. So I would go a different way this way, and my friends would say, where are you going? What door are you going this day? Quick. They made fun of me for being picked on, not standing up for myself. But I was beaten down, so I didn't feel like I could stick up for myself. But God knew what He was doing. He knew what He was doing in my heart. That was a difficult time in my life, but I started to go to church even when my family didn't go. I started listening to God speak to my heart. He said, I know you feel like you're a loser, but I believe in you. I know what you're capable of. I know where I'm taking you. I got into high school and I had a wonderful pastor at my church back in Hays, Kansas. He encouraged me, and I was often in his office asking him questions. I sought my pastor's advice all the time. That was touching my heart at the same time because I admired that in him. I saw how he helped open my heart to Jesus Christ and how that spoke to me, and how he helped me out in those days. And as I went into his office one time, he said, what are you going to do with your life? I said, I don't know. I'm pretty slow. And that's kind of a joke because my name is Chad Quick. But I was known for a long time as being pretty slow. I'm working harder than I have to, aren't I? I had that thing off the whole time. God. All right. I said to him, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't. I'm slow. Even though my name is Chad Quick, I'm slow. I had my eyes set on the junkyard, and then there was a job coming opening at the gas station. He said, no. I said, no, I know I can do that. I know I can pump that gas. I've seen him do it. I can do it. He said, no. It's like, what? He said, what is God saying to your heart? I don't know. He said, no, you do know. You listen. What is He saying? I was like, no. He said, I knew what He was saying. He said, God has got a ministry vision for you. And I said, no, not possible. I can't do it. So I kept going back in his office once in a while, talking to him. He said, have you thought any more about that, brother? I said, it's not for me. But he kept encouraging me, kept encouraging me. I said, all right, let's just say I was to be a minister. What does that take? He said, well, you got to go to college. Oh, I was all, no. I knew you could get into some churches without college. But in my mind, that was a big blockade for me. I was like, no, I know God ain't speaking to me. That my pastor's crazy. I'm not going to listen to him. He kept encouraging me, and that voice still kind of resonated in my heart. But I kept failing. I tried. He said, you don't have to get a big degree. You don't have to get a science degree or anything to get a ministry degree. You just got to get a degree. What are you good at? I said, well, I can do art. I'm a pretty good artist. So I went to school. You know, I flunked out my freshman year of college. I tried again. I begged to go back. I flunked out my second year of college. By that time, I was like, God has not got a plan for me. That was wrong. And you may hear some voices like that too, saying, guess who's putting those thoughts in your head? Those negative thoughts. Sometimes we got to be clear about what is speaking in our head. Sometimes the wrong spirit is talking in our head. We got to be good discerners sometimes. We got to listen to the voice of God and to remember what that sounds like. Because I had a lot of voices in my head saying, you'll never make it. You're too dumb. You're too slow. So there were times I wanted to give up. I didn't want to do what I had to do. And God said, if you're not going to do this my way, or, I'm going to force you to do it one way or another. That's what I think your church is in the midst of too. He's like, you guys got your plans. I know you do. He's got a plan for you. And no matter what you think, He's going to follow through on that. He's going to finish the work He started around here. I know He's got something for you. I know He does. Sometimes that's hard to hear. But I know that if you stick in there and hear His voice, He will carry you and finish the work He started. I finally wanted to go into the Air Force. I thought, well, maybe I can do that. I didn't pass my ASVAB. I know, this is a pretty pathetic story, isn't it? I can't seem to do anything right. So he said, you will march on down that hall and you go talk to the Marine Corps recruiter. I said, Guess where I wound up? In the Marine Corps. I did not want to go. But God had something in mind for me. I didn't know it at the time. But what I needed was discipline. I needed some structure. And I needed a way to believe in myself. I believe God used the Marine Corps for that purpose. He said, you're not believing in yourself, and you're not listening to me, so I'm going to put you through the Marine Corps. It was the best and worst time of my life. I hated it. But it gave me structure, it gave me discipline. You know, I came out of the Marine Corps and I went to, by the way, I met my wife in the military. That's why I'm here. God had another plan. God had that plan that He wanted me to go all the way over to Naples, Italy to meet my wife. She's from here, so here I am. Well, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I came back. I started going to Northern Kentucky University. And wouldn't you know, I passed that every class almost with straight A's. God had a plan. God had a plan. That's not the end of the story, but we're going to sing some more songs, and I'll tell you how I got here in this place right here.